Once, in a faraway land, there existed a magical garden, untouched by the world's storms. This garden, known only to those who believe in magic, was where wishes blossomed and dreams began to grow. People traveled from distant realms, searching for the garden, for here the magical animals granted wishes. Among them was a black swan, with a flame dancing atop its head. The swan was a wonder. Whenever someone wished for something, the swan would breathe out a stream of fire and magic, and there it would be, whatever the person desired: a golden coin, a palace, a songbird that could sing like no other. But the swan flame, though powerful, began to fade with each wish. It was a price to be paid for such extraordinary magic. And there was the peahen. She did not have the bright, sprawling tale of the peacocks from her homeland. She had been cast out, her beauty deemed incomplete because her feathers were not as magnificent as theirs. But the peahen had learned a secret that the peacocks never knew. She was not an ordinary bird. She was special, destined for something different. One day, as she was wandering the world, feeling lost, she stumbled upon the Garden of Wonders. It was where she learned that she wasn't like the other animals. But that didn't mean she didn't have value. She had the gift of seeing beauty in everything, even in the smallest things. Where others saw an empty sky, she saw endless possibilities of color. One evening, the swan invited the peahen to dance by the lake. They danced beneath the stars, moving gracefully over the still water, their shadows dancing alongside them. But just as they were lost in the beauty of the night, a human approached, his carriage wheel shattered beyond repair. His face was drawn with sadness, and his hands were trembling. He looked down. His eyes were filled with hope. "Please, kind creatures, my wheel is shattered. Could you grant me a new one?" An old man, tired and weary from a long journey, arrived with a broken carriage wheel. "How can I not help?" the swan said. Without hesitation, the swan flame ignited directly. With a gentle breath of fire, a new wheel appeared, stronger than the old one, unmoved to time's decay. The old man jumped with joy, praising the swan. Thank you, you beautiful creature." But before the swan could return to the peahen, the old man cried again. "Oh, the second wheel has also shattered. Please, make it new again, swan, make it new." The swan hesitated. Its flame flickered, dimming a little, but it breathed again, and another wheel was made. This time, it gleamed even brighter than the first. The old man left with joy, but the swan's flame dimmed again. The peahen, watching the swan's flame getting weaker with every wish, stepped forward. She approached the swan with a gentle rhythm in her voice. "When the flame begins to fade and you feel the warmth betrayed, remember, dear, your spark remains, not in the flame, but in your veins." The swan lowered its head, realizing that the light of its flame was not as bright as it had been. Each wish had caused a part of it, and though the magic still flowed, it no longer felt like the magnificent creature it once was. The peahen continued. "Not every wish can last a night, and even stars must lose their light." The swan began to cry. "I gave everything for others, but now I feel like I've lost myself. What happens when I lose my flame?" The peahen smiled softly. "You're special, dear swan. Don't forget your name. You shine in soft ways that outglow any flame." The black swan paused, turning its gaze towards the peahen. There it was, an invitation for a second dance beneath the stars. The swan was entranced by the peahen's quiet elegance, but the peahen's eyes were set on something else. The magical portal to the outside world was glowing in the distance, a doorway to an ordinary life. The swan was scared, but the peahen was content. They could both leap through the portal and wish for a new life. With a trembling voice, the Swan asked, "What will I do without my flame?" The Peahen danced around the Swan. "A nest, a home, a life that's true. Even if it's small, it's made by you." The Swan hesitated, but the trust it had in the Peahen was stronger than any insecurities. As they stepped to the portal, the Swan felt its flame flicker one last time. But it was not gone. It had found a new form, gentle, like the nest it would one day build. As for the Peahen, she knew that sometimes the most meaningful lives are the ones that don't need to fulfill every wish, but instead simply live in the quiet beauty of who they are. And so, the Swan and the Peahen continued living, not as magical creatures bound by duty, but as two beings who have found their true home, and all that remained was the quiet magic of love. Even if you think you lost your spark, your heart still shines bright in the dark.